We often discuss geopolitical tensions, right? Maps, headlines.
They're the usual statecraft.
But there's this whole other layer now, a kind of silent war, really, happening digitally.
Absolutely. In cyberspace.
Think about Morocco and Algiers, that friction. It's not just diplomatic anymore. It's definitely online, too. And today, we're diving deep into a group right in the middle of that. Phantom Atlas, a collective of Moroccan patriotic hackers.
Yeah, it's a fascinating development. These sort of non-state groups getting involved in, well, what they frame as digital defense adds a whole new layer.
Exactly. And we've got a great source for this deep dive, an exclusive interview with Phantom Atlas members. It was published on MoroccoPapers.com.
And it's important for you listening to know our aim here. We're not here to judge their actions.
Yeah, not at all.
Instead, we want to explore who they are, how they work in this, let's call it murky digital space, what drives them, and what their perspective tells us about Morocco's cybersecurity situation overall.
Yeah, our mission today is really to unpack Phantom Atlas for you. Where did they come from? How do they pull off these secret operations? What's their motivation? And, what can we learn from how they see Morocco's cyber challenges?
Right.
And look, we know cybersecurity can get technical fast.
Definitely.
So we're going to break it down, keep it clear, insightful, without getting lost in jargon. Okay, so let's unpack it. Where did Phantom Atlas actually start?
Well, according to this interview, they didn't just appear as this unified group.
Not overnight.
No, it seems more organic. It grew out of individuals who were initially doing their own thing. They used terms like lone wolves, hobbyists, even tinkerers.
Just individuals exploring cyberspace.
Pretty much, operating independently at first.
So what changed? What brought these lone wolves together? Was there a trigger?
There seems to have been one specific event. The interview highlights the cyber attack on Morocco's CNSS.
The National Social Security Fund.
Right, exactly. They describe that attack as a major wake-up call. It really seems like that event galvanized them, made these separate actors realize they needed a more, coordinated response to cyber threats against Morocco.
So it pushed them from individual actions to forming a collective.
That's the idea, yeah.
And the name they chose, Phantom Atlas. It's quite evocative. Is there a story there?
Oh, definitely deliberate. Phantom is about their stealth, right? Operating unseen.
Makes sense.
And Atlas, that's a direct nod to the Atlas Mountains in Morocco. It symbolizes their roots, their Moroccan identity, and this idea of being an unshakable presence online.
Hidden, yet solid. Like that.
Yeah, it combines those two ideas.
Okay, so they formed. But how do they actually work together, especially if they need secrecy? What's the setup?
Well, their operational security, or OPSEC, sounds extremely strict.
How so?
They talk about strong compartmentalization. Basically, members work in these isolated silos.
Silos.
Yeah, meaning, according to the interview, they don't know each other in real life. Not even real names are used within the group.
Wow, really? That's intense. So they're completely anonymous even to each other.
Seems like it. It's a core part of keeping everyone safe and the group secure.
Okay, but then how do they coordinate? How do they decide on targets, share intel, if they don't know each other?
Their main tool seems to be private Telegram groups.
Telegram. Okay. Known for encryption.
Exactly. Strong end-to-end encryption. Plus, its structure makes it harder to trace or shut down than, say, something with central servers. They use these secure channels for everything: coordination, sharing intelligence, vetting potential targets.
But their secret digital headquarters.
Pretty much, yeah. A secure command center.
Now, they admit what they do could be seen as illegal. How do they square that with this strong patriotism they talk about?
That's a really crucial point about how they see themselves. They acknowledge, yes, their actions are outside the law.
Right.
But morally, they justify it as defense. They don't see themselves as criminals. They see themselves as guardians protecting Morocco online. Yeah. Their whole rationale is built on cyber retaliation. If Morocco is attacked digitally, they feel they have a right, maybe even a duty, to hit back. This idea of active defense is really central to them.
Okay, let's talk about those responses then, these retaliations. What kind of attacks are we talking about?
Their targets seem pretty strategic and often symbolic.
Like what?
They mention taking down government sites, platforms supporting the Polisario Front, even networks they link to extremist groups. They say each attack isn't just disruption, it's meant as a warning.
A warning shot in cyberspace?
Kind of, yeah.
They brought up one specific case, the MGPTT operation. What was that about?
Yes, the MGPTT takedown. They called it a prominent Algerian digital infrastructure. This one seems to be a real point of pride for them.
Why is that?
They really emphasized the speed and precision, claimed they planned and executed the whole thing in under 24 hours.
Wow. Less than a day.
Yeah. So for them, it showcases their capability, their effectiveness against what they see as hostile digital assets.
And speaking of hostile, who do they see as their main adversaries in this digital fight?
Well, they suspect a lot of attacks against Morocco come from specific groups. They named Jabaroot in Algeria and Rootstorm in Tunisia.
Okay.
But interestingly, they also stress they don't like pointing fingers without solid proof. They talk about looking for digital fingerprints.
Digital fingerprints, like unique code signatures.
Exactly. Patterns left behind that might hint at who was responsible. But, it's important to remember that definitively attributing cyber attacks, it's really complex, often debated.
Right. Attribution is notoriously tricky in cyber.
Very much so.
So for these members, it's not about money, not about getting paid. It's all driven by this cyber patriotism.
That's the picture they paint, yes.
Yeah.
They were very clear. They're not hired guns, no payment, no rewards.
So what's the payoff?
One member actually said, "Our currency is pride." It seems to boil down to love of country and digital justice. That's their stated motivation.
And they have this term for it, defensive hacking. Can you expand on that? What does that mean in practice?
Yeah, defensive hacking. It ties into this broader concept you hear about now called active defense.
Active defense. Okay.
So they don't frame their actions as starting fights, but as a necessary deterrent. Their motto seems to be hack or be hacked.
Hack or be hacked. It sounds stark.
It is. They basically believe that just sitting back, relying on traditional passive defenses like firewalls, it's just not enough anymore.
So you have to go on the offensive sometimes to defend yourself.
That's their view. Proactively engaging with threats, which for them includes offensive cyber ops in response to attacks. They see it as essential for national security today. It definitely blurs the lines between offense and defense.
It's interesting, though, that they still seem to respect Morocco's official cyber agency, the DGSSI. What's their take on the country's overall cyber readiness?
Yeah, they do show clear respect for the DGSSI, the Directorate General of Information Systems Security. They acknowledge it holds the front line against the big, sophisticated cyber threats.
So they see the official body as crucial.
Definitely. Protecting critical infrastructure, that's the DGSI's job, in their eyes.
But they must see weaknesses, too, right?
Yeah.
Did they point out any areas for improvement from their perspective?
They did, yeah. A couple key things. First, they feel there's a shortage of skilled people. Not enough trained cybersecurity experts, or, as they put it, digital warriors.
The skills gap. We hear that a lot globally.
Exactly. They think Morocco needs more investment in building that workforce. Second, they mentioned cyber awareness, especially among small and medium-sized businesses, SMEs.
Oh, the smaller companies.
Yeah, they see SMEs as a potential soft underbelly, vulnerable to simpler attacks like phishing because they might lack awareness or resources for strong security.
That makes sense. Often the easiest way in.
And independent reports do suggest that global cybersecurity talent shortage is real, so it's likely Morocco faces that too.
It's kind of ironic, this secretive group giving advice to regular folks on staying safe online. What did they suggest?
Well, their advice was actually very practical, pretty standard best practices, really.
Like what?
Be super careful with unknown links in emails or messages. Don't overshare private info online. And importantly, if you have security concerns, talk to actual experts, not just, your cousin who knows a bit about computers.
Sound advice, whoever it comes from. Let's circle back to the ethics, the legal side. They know it's illegal, but they have this moral justification. Where do they draw the line? What won't they do?
They seem to have a clear line. They state explicitly they avoid any action that could hurt everyday people.
Okay, so no civilian harm.
Right. Their targets are systems, infrastructure, things they see as threats to Morocco. They say they're not interested in hurting individuals, stealing personal data for money, or doing ransomware attacks.
So attacking systems, not people. That's their distinction.
That seems to be the core of their moral argument for operating outside the law.
Doing what they do, they must know they're being watched. Right. Aware of the risks.
Oh, absolutely. They acknowledge the scrutiny has increased, especially after, as they put it, disrupting top-level Algerian networks.
They feel the heat.
One member basically said that, yeah. But it seems they accept these risks as part of the deal. They sound determined to keep operating from the shadows.
And what effect do they think they're having? On the bigger picture, on their adversaries.
They believe their digital intrusions are making waves. They even claim their activities have reached generals' desks in Algeria.
Really? High-level attention.
That's their claim. It suggests they see their actions as having real impact, maybe even influencing strategic thinking on the other side.
Wow. It really drives home how conflict is changing, doesn't it? It's not just boots on the ground anymore.
Not at all. Like Phantom Atlas themselves said, sometimes the keyboard is mightier than the sword. They see cyber warfare as happening right now, not some future threat.
It's a fundamental shift.
Absolutely, in how nations and even groups like this interact and exert power.
So what's their final message? Their call to action for Morocco?
They're really pushing for Moroccan authorities to build a comprehensive digital shield.
A digital shield, meaning more than just tech.
Exactly, yes. Technology, firewalls, antivirus, but also a full cultural shift. More cyber awareness, better security habits across the board, from government to businesses to individuals.
Right. So wrapping this up, Phantom Atlas is this really complex mix. You've got intense nationalism, serious cyber skills, and this strong belief in proactive digital defense.
Yeah.
All playing out in a pretty tense region.
Yeah, and while the legality is definitely questionable,
Oh, sure.
their existence really highlights how national security is evolving in this digital age. Things are changing fast.
It definitely leaves you thinking.
And it brings up a big question for you listening. With groups like Phantom Atlas becoming more common in cyberspace, what does that mean long term? For international relations, for the traditional roles of countries in war and defense? And maybe more personally, as you navigate your own digital life, what does the rise of these kinds of actors mean for your security, for understanding the threats out there in this constantly shifting digital world? Something to chew on.